Hey there, everybody. So I don't know what happened with the Zoom video Thursday. When I shut the computer down, right before I shut the computer down after class, it told me it had to process the video, and then I never got a link. So it's kind of a bummer. It was a good class. The good news is I can capture the math that we did that day really quickly in this video. If you think back to Thursday, most of what we did that day was we did a warm-up, which was doing weighted averages, which I'm going to do right here again in a second. And also then we played craps. We learned how to play craps and played craps, which you don't need to know for the exam for the end of this week, excuse me. Some of you might be a little concerned about, let me go to the exam real quick. Let me find it real quick. Here it is. The question that some of you are sending me emails on, which is totally understandable, is this one right here. How to do the average payout for a don't pass bet. So you need these dollar amounts here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to do the average that we did in class on Thursday. So the payouts were there were only two payouts. I'm going to zoom in here to make this a little bit easier to see. There we go. There were only two payouts. There was what happened if you won and what happened if you lost. So if you won, you might remember you won $1. And if you lost, you lost $1. Okay, that's how Excel does negatives sometimes, at least for dollar amounts in the red, so to speak. Okay, so and then this was the interesting part: the probability, the chances that we got these things. It was pretty cool because you all actually had the 49.3% chance of winning, which is almost exactly what it quote unquote is if you actually play the game numbers of times. The chance of losing, therefore, is the other 507, and you can check to make sure that that math works by adding those two together and adds up to 100%, which is great. So the math that we did is the same math that we did in the warm-up, which is literally the exact same math that we did weeks ago, but I can see why I'm getting emails about it because it has been a couple weeks since we looked at it. So what we had to do was we had to take each of these and multiply them by this. Okay, so I'm going to do payout times chance, and that's going to equal that times that, and then equal, and drag that down to this 2. Now it's saying 0, 0. It's actually not 0. Let me get some decimals here. There we go. Oops. Whoops, I need some decimals. There we go. So you actually have some decimals. It's just rounding them off. So, and this hopefully shouldn't surprise anybody. 1 times that is going to be itself, but it's in dollar form now. And then -1 times that is going to be itself, and it's in dollar form now. Now, for a weighted average, what you usually would have to do is you'd add this column up, which I'm going to do right now, equals sum. This number is going to sound familiar from class. 1.4 cents lost. That's going to sound familiar. And most of the weighted average we did, you have to add up these and then divide this number by the sum of this. But the sum of these is just 1. So there's no reason to actually divide by that. All you've got to do is look at that puppy dog right there, and that is your average. And that's what we figured out in class. So to extend this to the exam, it's exactly the same math, except you've got one extra column here for push. But don't think too hard about that, because what's the payout for a push? Let's go back and look again in case you payout for a push, $0. So ask yourself, if you were, I'm going to insert a column here. I'm not going to answer it all the way, but if you were to put that $0 here, and then these chances are going to be different, right? These are going to be different based on what your spreadsheet gives you. They are not the same as they are for a pass line bet. So you'll put these numbers in. You'll have a number here, a number here, and a number here. But then ask yourself what's going to happen when you take whatever that probability is and multiply it by 0. What number is going to be here? So anyway, that'll be for you to figure out. And throwing back again to the exam, these chances, we calculated these in class because we had the data. Your data for the exam is actually coming from this spreadsheet right here, this crap spreadsheet. So remember that when you're running trying to do this problem right here. You need the probabilities from part C to go into the beginnings of this table right here. Okay, I hope that helps. Sorry about Zoom losing our video. I seriously have no idea what happened to it. But hopefully this is enough to get you through that part of the exam. Alrighty, we will. I would say see you in class, but we won't. So we'll see you when we see you. Take care of yourselves.